We were going to have some problem solving. We were going to take some we're going to bring this to the table, to this show. Did anyone bring any real dilemmas to the table?
Anyone who opens and orders and eats green Pringles on the plane, there is a special place in hell.
Have to put these puppies away.
Preppy kind of look.
Do you piss off a lot of people? Does this
Apparently
happen
I
to you
do.
a lot?
Apparently I do.
Lee, who tells you that? Who's told you that?
I think you need to change your friends.
He follows loads of Instagram models on Instagram and likes all of their posts.
Dump him. What a nerd.
Oh! Welcome to the She Word. Conversations that women rarely have, but really should. I'm your host, Trudy Kerr. And ladies and gentlemen, go on. Folks, give us a little subscribe and a follow. Show us a little love here on the show. We are here with another edition of the She Word After Hours. This edition of the show is a little less censored, where we look at current topics and share our thoughts and invite you to share yours too. And for this show, we have a regular lineup of outspoken, opinionated and animated ladies at the table who literally need no intro. So I'm not going to be giving them an intro, just a title today, and we'll see how they feel about that. Tez Camilleri, always the opposing view. Fair point, no?
Correct.
Absolutely. Emily Jones, the voice of reason, I've called you.
I'll take it.
There you go. And Sue Caruana, resting bitch face.
My friends tell me that.
Because
yes, that's not the first time. Yes, they call me Cillian Murphy.
What?
Cillian Murphy.
Okay, fair
You know
enough.
the actor? He's
No.
always got a resting bitch face. Yeah.
Kind of
I mean, no,
intense.
listen,
I own it. I like it.
we know you, we love you, you're the funniest person on the planet, but every time that Alexei takes a photograph of you, you do always have a bit of resting bitch face.
I think he does that on purpose.
I think he has a
I
skill
think
there,
he
that's
finds the worst photos, and those are what he sends us. You know, I'm sure there must be better photos, but I think he does it on purpose to wind me up.
You think?
I think so.
Oh, man.
We
I'm
can
sure.
take that up with our videographer afterwards. So, ladies and gentlemen, like I say, welcome to another edition of After Hours. And we are right slap bang right here in the middle of January.
Yes,
The
2026.
doldrums of January 2026. And I'm kind of want to check in with you guys. How are you all doing in the middle of January?
For a change, I'm doing really good. I'm
Why
really
for a change?
Because normally January is a bad time for me because historically, I mean, I've always suffered from depression, and January is a bad time. So Christmas, by the time we get hit mid-December, I go into my,
Dipping
low, my
side, yeah.
dip, and then by January, usually I'm quite a mess, and it takes me till February to get out of it.
Wow.
Normally.
It's true, and there's such a thing as Blue Monday, if I'm not mistaken, which is like
No, for me, it's just blue every day. Blue day, usually.
this time. What?
No, not at all.
Well, that is such great news.
Chin chin to
Absolutely.
you, my
Chin
friends.
chin. Cheers to that. And speaking of good news, because we are in the middle of January, but it has been a good month for you ladies because Tez, first of all, you had your birthday at the beginning of the month.
Yes, I'm 35.
Oh, a baby. A baby.
A babe in arms. And we'll talk about that in just a second.
Yeah.
And Emily, of course, you had your birthday between Christmas and New Year as well. We'll talk about that in a second. But the big announcement, let's get this one out the way, is, oh, look at that.
Yes, Emily.
She's going to be made an honest woman.
Yeah, exactly. It's about time. I can tell you that much. But I'm just so glad that I got engaged in the same year as I would like a ring. I would like a ring. I would like a diamond ring on my wedding finger.
Yeah,
Because
you can
what
sing
I'm
the
talking
song,
about.
yeah.
That song?
Yeah,
that
yeah.
came out. Yeah, yes.
Came out
Where is my husband? That's it.
Yes. I've only been playing that through
Your
the house
husband is
subconsciously
coming.
for the last 6 months.
Unsubtle, but you got engaged, which is fantastic. Now,
thank you.
for a lot of your followers, I think this would have come as big news
I
because
think so.
you never even actually spoke about your partner, but you've been with your partner for a really long time.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like I actually don't ever really talk about anyone in my personal life. I mean, friends as well. I often think to myself that people are like, oh, how come we've been out together maybe and done something and I haven't like tagged someone in a story or whatever, but I just always feel quite protective about the people in my life.
Can I just say, I have been tagged in one of your photos in the past. Yeah, I made the cut.
Well, you're a public figure,
Oh,
so
okay,
it's
fair.
kind of different. But I am very kind of aware of that, let's say, and like to kind of keep things private. But also, I am very like, I see a lot of people online who are kind of going on and on about their perfect relationships, this, that, and the
It's a
other.
load of rubbish,
And it's a load of fucking bull, excuse my French, but it's after hours,
It's so
right?
Yeah,
fake.
go on as you mean to.
But
It's
it's a
so
load of
fake.
bull. And then like a few months down the line, whatever, and they're like, oh, actually, we've split up and there's this whole announcement. And then it's like, you saw that things were good, but actually we've been
Behind
having
the scenes,
So
it
it's like,
was
so
like
why
the-
didn't you show us
Yeah.
that? Why didn't you ever show? You just kind of like put this, it's like people kind of make up this whole idea of relationships and like what things are like.
And they run with it, eh? Then,
And they
build
run
this
with
whole
it,
thing,
and people, and I understand because I enjoy that kind of content, and I often see things and I think to myself, oh my God, they look like they're such a cute couple and it's so nice. But it's like the reality is very different. So I'm just kind of like, I just sort of decided a long time ago that I'm just never going to do that. And I'm just never going to bring my personal relationships into anything online. And I just really don't like that because I think it's really phony when I see that.
Yeah, I don't like following a lot of people because everything's always so perfect in there.
Well, this is really interesting. We're going to come back to this a little bit later on because the trends online for the coming year have absolutely changed around to exactly that. Micro influencers and also people being more authentic online. But we're going to come back to that in a second. I
Our
think
eras,
chin
yeah.
chin to Emily.
Thank you.
Chin chin, well done.
Congratulations.
I just want to
Cheers.
touch on this because you guys did also have your birthdays, and I want to ask you what it's like to have a birthday over Christmas and New Year, if you can remember your birthdays. But before we get there,
Can't
Tez,
remember because what?
because it was 2 weeks ago, you probably had a good time.
I thought because there was a lot of this involved. But
More
all
than
right.
likely. Tez, who do you know who you share your birthday with?
I don't. Who?
You don't know who you share your birthday with?
Well, I know the girls in class when I was a little kid, but yes.
What are you, Pope Gregory the Eighth? That's nice.
Okay.
Is he
How long ago was
he
he
the current
alive?
pope?
I don't think so.
So then how the hell would we know about him?
Because it's right there on AI.
Pope Gregory.
Nicolas Cage. You share your birthday with Nicolas
All
Cage.
right.
Acting
Jeremy
talent.
Renner. Do you know who Jeremy Renner is?
Yeah.
No?
I know him by sight. He's quite nice looking.
Jeremy what?
Emily, do you know who you share your birthday with?
I hate my birthday. I don't want to have anything to do with it. I
Jared
wanna forget
Depardieu.
it.
Do you know Jared Depardieu?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
you know who Jared
actor.
Depardieu is?
Isn't he in trouble for something recently?
He was a French
or-
actor. Can we just go with that? Mick Jones from The Foreigner. I want to know what love is.
Oh, good song.
Also, Hayley Williams. Do you know who that is? David Knopfler from Dire Straits.
Who are
Yeah.
these
This is
people,
awful.
man?
This is an awful list of people to share a birthday.
Hey,
Well,
listen,
because it's from our age.
with all
group,
due
not
respect, it could
yours.
be worse. Do you know who I share my birthday
No.
with? Penelope Cruz and Saddam Hussein. There we go.
You should have stopped at Penelope Cruz.
Do you know who you share your birthday with?
No idea.
Okay.
I mean, my partner, because we're 2 days apart.
Oh, wait.
Way.
Yes, she's on the 25th and I'm on the 27th. How cute.
of
And we're
what month?
exactly 5 of May and 5 days apart.
May.
5
May is
years
a
apart,
beautiful
exactly.
month.
So it's the 5th month,
nice.
25th and 27th. God, we're just so
Oh,
perfectly.
They're so
May is
cute.
lovely. I would have loved to have a. You don't
The best
think-
people are born in May, Gemini. I keep seeing on
And March.
on,
I think March is a nice
My
one.
mum was.
What's
a
wrong with
Gemini,
April?
actually.
Nothing at all.
Okay, managed to miss that one out.
I love
Right, listen,
spring.
guys.
Spring's a good
We
time.
have in the middle here, we have some Twisties. I'm just going to caveat this by saying we are not sponsored by Twisties. This was because I was in the supermarket, I was in Dave's, and I happened to see that the Twisties came out over the Christmas period and into the new year with these incredible flavors.
These all came out
Incredible.
now. Well, this one didn't, of course.
The cinnamon ones are definitely a festive edition. I know
yes,
that they
they
had
are.
them
Look at
last
the
year and they had them
packaging.
this year. And we actually did get some, and I was planning on filming a TikTok with them. And I turned around and my fiance,
Oh my
Don't tell me he'd eaten them.
And my fiance had opened them and was scoffing them. And I was like, what the hell are you doing? I'm going to make a TikTok about
Well, okay,
those.
listen. I actually had to fight my husband off not to eat this. But at any point during the show, if you feel like it, grab a packet, open it up, and we'll do a taste
Can I
test.
just ask you
Say
something?
less.
Like,
Yes.
if you had to see all these flavors, automatically, which would be the ones you'd go
Classic.
for? You'd
always.
go for classic.
I
You?
would go for classic.
But okay. But they don't have to be twisties. Just in general, you're a salt and vinegar, no?
Only, yeah.
I'm a cheese
salt
and
vinegar.
onion.
I don't like anything with onion.
That
It's
maybe.
true.
I
I
hate
like
it.
onion.
I actually don't like onions in real life. I mean, as onions. I don't
That
like
possibly.
them. I don't like onion in
Realistically, I would
anything.
go for something that's
What's
a little
that
bit
one?
picante.
Okay,
That's a
Tez,
little bit.
open these up. Let's try them. Let's
What's
just
it?
go.
These
What's
are
that?
Jbeina, Talbzar.
Jbeina,
So I would go
Talbzar.
for like a cracked black
That
pepper
might-
kind of
That
thing,
might
you know?
be interesting.
Let's
That
just all try one of
definitely
those.
not. And the blue packet.
Well, we have to
They're
try
very
them. We're just going to try them. So at any point,
All right.
let's just try them. Okay.
Oh,
Why are they so white? If they're,
I was going to say they're really
Hey,
white.
no.
but they're supposed to be Talbzar.
They are all white. I think I've had
Okay.
the mint ones and the cinnamon ones are all very pale, which is quite unusual. I guess it's
Okay.
the cheese powder that
the
gives
kick
them.
of
Let's
the
see.
pepper comes
Jbeina
after. I don't hate them,
Talbzar.
Addies. I don't hate
They're a
these.
bit tasteless. They're a bit tasteless. There's a kick
It's
of
not the
pepper, but
that's
that's
the
it.
problem. It's the cheese.
Yes, the
It's a bit
cheese and the actual.
stinky.
Yeah, no,
No?
absolutely no.
expecting that
It's like
one.
paper with pepper.
Me no like it.
Not tasting the pepper at all.
No, I'm
It
just
comes
tasting the
afterwards.
The
When you
pepper comes,
swallow.
the pepper comes after.
You don't. When you swallow, you didn't get pepper. When you swallow, it
Me no
comes.
like it. I don't like those.
When
at
you
all.
swallow, Trudy.
Anyway, ladies, so rude. All right, listen,
swallow or do you-
guys. We're going to talk a little bit about the trends of this coming year over this show. And I want to kick this off by, I want to kick off, now I'm feeling the pepper.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
come
there you
after.
go. I want to say that I did a bit of a quick search to see what's trending in fashion for 2026.
This is where I go.
Hey, listen,
on.
sorry, but you're sitting there with your fantastic boobs. I'm sitting here in my Christmas jumper. Can I point out that it is a winter jumper, not a
It's
Christmas
so
jumper?
not a Christmas-
There
it's
is
so
a
not a
reason
winter
why
jumper.
I'm wearing this jumper.
I don't agree that it's not a Christmas jumper. It's a winter theme.
Thank you so much.
Oh, boy. That
Thanks.
needs to go into the closet already. Like, it's January.
It's not even winter. It's
Well,
not
I'm
even
sorry.
Christmas colours.
Hang on a second. The reason I'm wearing it is because the trends, the predicted trends for this coming year, kind of date back to the 80s. We've got sheer polka dots. We've got checked button-up shirts.
Check.
I like button,
Or like a lumberjack.
buttoned up shirt.
or-
I'm a
up shirt.
exaggerated bow details.
Okay, I
apparently.
like bows. I like a
Oh,
bow.
Oh, we're very
Everyone's
80s.
using
So are we
those.
doing back
Hang on a
combing?
second. We're
Back
gonna
combing
come
shoulder
back.
pads?
We're gonna come back to these in just a second. But this is why dusty blue is the color for
Ah.
yeah.
That's your duck
It's not the
egg.
color, that's the problem. It's
I
the
think
pattern at the top.
that's
Oh.
duck egg blue.
Yeah, duck egg. I like duck egg.
Tassels galore is the last in the trend for
Sounded
2026.
like a pantomime name.
Fall
Tassels
backwards.
galore.
It does, doesn't it? It sounds like a porn star name. All right, sheer polka
But
dot.
actually, the same color as your eyes.
What
That
are-
top.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Your top and your eye.
Trending all year with these eyes. Yeah. So, ladies, sheer polka dots. Anybody going to be wearing that this year?
No.
Top pepper.
Sheer polka dots.
No.
No?
Maybe. Hey, never say never. I'm
Never
not
did
sure.
it in the 80s, and I won't be doing it now either.
I don't
dots?
like polka dots.
Me neither.
No.
Button-up shirts?
Yes.
Maybe.
Oh.
But wait a second. I mean, this is a button-up shirt as well.
yeah,
This
yeah.
has been you
Yes,
can
but
always
you're not
but
buttoned up. I think the point is that you button it up.
okay, so that's what it means, that we have to wear it up to here.
I have to put these puppies away.
Preppy kind of look.
Free those boys!
Likely.
That's the thing, though. Do you not find that they would kind of like gape across your boobies?
If you have big ones, yeah, so.
What, button-up shirts?
Because
Like,
if
it
they're the
depends
wrong
on-
side.
It
But if
depends
they're
on
the
the
wrong side.
material. But I often feel that a lot of these trends are like only made for like runway bodies, aka no curves, straight up and down, and they kind of like look good on that sort of androgynous kind of figure. But in real life, how do they actually work?
No, button-up shirts. Button-up shirts, though, if you get a proper shirt which has it's buttoned. If it's meant to be buttoned, then you have the button which is visible, and then you have the hidden button underneath, which doesn't.
I've never had one of those.
But this is
Yes,
giving
yes.
me very much like we're going back to the office in 2010, like when we all used to go to the club.
Well,
like,
it's an
what I'm
80s
thinking
trend,
of-
babe. It's an 80s
talking about.
trend.
Sugar Babes
Eight.
video in the lift. Down now, baby, run
good
now.
song.
You know what I mean? You know which one it is?
all I
They're all in office
Yes,
wear.
but I don't remember.
all I know is
the
that when
video.
we often like kind of talk about that era, like of like the early 2000s or like 2010s or something, there's a lot of discourse about this, that we used to go to the club. And I remember this very well because at the time I was living in London and I was working in an
How old
office.
were you in 2010? If you don't mind me asking.
I guess I was 21.
Right.
So
Yeah. Okay.
21.
Nice.
I guess. Hang on. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I was 21. Yeah.
I was
Okay,
probably
don't
about-
keep saying it.
Hold on. But the point was that we would, like, when we would go out clubbing, we would wear office
wear.
gear.
I remember this era. The
Peplum,
high-waisted.
peplum
It's
shirts,
very-
high-waisted skirts. We used to
Pencil
go
skirts,
like
yeah.
straight from the office, or wear the same things that we would wear in the office, which is really like strange to think now. Not, by the way, that I have any idea what people are wearing to clubs, because I haven't been to a club in a decade or so.
I
But
think we need to get you to a club, especially because you're getting married.
Oh, that'll be on the agenda. Coming back to this, okay, we're talking about the 80s, we're talking about office wear, exaggerated bow details. You said yes to bows. I say no.
I hate
no to
bows.
bows.
do you?
They're
I
so
hate
girly,
bows.
but
Well,
I'm
in
not
the
very
80s,
girly.
I still had hair. So I remember having a clip thing to hold my hair back. I mean, I used to perm my hair. So I would have curls
Wow.
and it was layered and I had a fringe, and then we would backcomb it a little bit, and then we would grab it from here and put it up here and put a big bow clip in it.
It's really in right now, but a lot of, over the Christmas period, I kept seeing lots. It's very pretty.
But
lots of people with a bow at the back of
But
their
I
hair.
feel like it's very,
very
festive though as well.
Is it not a bit trad wives?
A bit what?
Oh well, that's also a
What's
trend,
bit what?
isn't it?
Wives.
What's trad?
like
wife?
perfect wives, with a
Traditional
bow
wives.
and- yeah.
Wives,
Oh,
like
right.
housewife.
With a
It
big
depends
bow
how you
and-
wear it, I suppose.
True.
Okay, fair enough.
She supposes with
I
the.
suppose.
Yeah.
I'm very 80s. Look, I'm on trend, okay? I'm wearing.
Yes, you
You
are.
I'm
didn't
wearing-
mention paddings
I'm
though.
Paddings.
There's no paddings, not yet.
Oh, you know what I love in the
dusty,
80s?
dusty blue, which is obviously the best colour ever and is going to stay
It
in.
is, it's nice.
Tassels galore. How do we feel about tassels,
I like
ladies?
tassels.
I like me a couple of tassels.
Tassels. Are you talking about like fringe?
Yes, yes.
I hate
Like very
that.
cowboy
I
like
don't
me-
like that at all.
I had the bikini, I remember, with tassels. It was very uncomfortable in the water because these tassels float. Then when you're out of the
Yeah.
water, they don't know where to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think there were other great things of the 80s they could have taken and they didn't.
No, all of the 80s
Is it,
that.
eh?
Oh, yes, Amela.
Oh,
Of course.
good
These are
grief.
just
I
some
love-
item, but all of the 80s
I love
are
the denim and leather mix. I always
Rah
loved
rah
that
skirts.
stuff.
Do you remember rah rah skirts?
I do. I also remember
What's a
batwing
rah-rah
jumpers.
skirt?
Remember batwing jumpers?
Batwing
Yes.
jumper,
Oh, my
yeah.
word.
Rah
No.
rah skirts is a skirt with frills on layers.
So many
you have
things about the
layers, it's
80s
called
that
a
just
rah-rah.
have to stay there.
Rah, rah. Oh, mama.
Exactly. All right, so we've done that. That's the predictions for the fashion of this year. And at some point, I feel like we should probably set the table doing all of them just for shits and giggles.
Okay, I think she should go bows. I think you'd work a tassel. You don't think? I think next episode we need to do it.
I can wear tassel earrings.
That's work. I have tassel earrings.
I could do that.
That
I'm
means I
going to do
have
blue.
polka.
I'm going to just stick with
You
blue.
blue and I have polka dots. Yeah.
Listen, guys, word of the year. Let's talk about word of the year for a second. This year's pick from the Oxford University Press comes after brain rot was named last year's word of the year.
I like that. Brain rot.
About the supposed effects of low quality content on the brain. Now, what are the key important lessons that you've learned or we're still learning? What's the most helpful advice that you can give? Don't get too upset, but rage bait has been named the Oxford University Press's word of the year, beating on all other terms.
I often find that if I make a video about something and people don't agree with it, they're like, rage bait, is this rage bait? If you're just existing in doing something that people don't agree with, they're like, this is obviously rage bait. And
Okay,
it's like,
wait a second.
define it,
Can we
please.
have the definition of rage bait?
Some cinnamon.
Rage bait is basically when you post something knowing that it's
going to piss
get-
people off.
Piss people off so that you get
Right.
engagement and you get reaction.
I post things and I don't know they're going to piss people off.
But rage bait is part of our society.
I suppose so. It's just kind of, I just feel like it's a little bit,
Posting something that's going to cause rage.
yeah, so you know that it's going to get a reaction.
Baked as in like you're
baiting
fishing.
the
Exactly.
audience.
Don't annoy people.
Okay.
So there would be you would be putting up a video of yourself reacting to something current, and you
saying
know that it's
something.
going
Yeah,
to.
or anything. It could be like, for example, I'm trying to, oh God, I don't know. I'm trying to cut this loaf of bread and I don't have a bread knife, so I'm sort of hacking at it with a. I mean, I'm saying this because everybody always comments on my videos. I haven't got a bread knife.
And then the issue would be that the comments would be like,
Yes.
"Oh my God, you're making me so mad. Just do it
Exactly.
properly," kind of
Yes,
thing. I
yes.
understand.
But
Yes.
the reason that rage bait is such a prolific word for the coming year is because algorithms all through Meta and all of those social media platforms are driven by generating rage bait. It is what the algorithms are looking for, and it's
That's
what
why I'm
creates
saying it
content.
says so
Yeah.
much
Well,
more
this
about
is
our
really
society.
interesting, and I'm just going to take an aside because over the Christmas period a couple of weeks ago, I was in bed. I was very unwell, and I ended up spending probably about
much time.
10 hours a day online. And I found at the end of that week, I was so anxious because I'd been looking at so much content, and the content, the algorithms, whether it be what's happening in the news with the US, whether it be what's happening in Europe, whether it's happening in the Ukraine, blah, 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 or whether it just be content that people are creating in response to that, rage bait is what drives the algorithms. Without a shadow of doubt, more
wait
than
a
anything
second,
else.
so that I'm clear.
I really like
basically,
these.
when you post something that creates controversy
Yeah.
in a negative way,
Yeah.
then that feeds the algorithm.
but
you get
only-
more coverage.
It's only rage bait if you've done that with the intention of that being the reaction. Right. So if you've just posted it and that's just your opinion or whatever, then it's not rage bait. That's just what you think. But if you've done it with the intent of baiting the comments and trying to kind of like get people.
right.
But if you posted without that intention and it happened anyway, is it still
Well,
rage
then
bait?
no, I don't think so. But people will comment that it is.
That it is, yeah.
Yeah. So people assume that it is, but it's
This is
not
like when you post a picture
always.
of yourself and not that I know, but I'm just giving an example.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's like when you post a picture of yourself and you'd have a hashtag being like, "Oh, a thirst trap."
Yeah.
Thirst trap. I didn't
Those
know.
are
I had to
sexy.
Google that as well. But you just post a picture of yourself thinking, "Oh, I feel good. I'm going to post," and then
No,
reality.
thirst traps are those are done very intentionally to get.
Agreed.
To get
Yeah,
But what I
yes.
mean is you might not intentionally want to
Yes.
to
You mean
rage
if you sent a
bait.
if you put a photo of yourself now,
Oh, I'm
you wouldn't do it intentionally as a thirst trap. You can't even get your but it would be definitely a thirst.
But am I
trap.
understanding that it's the same? It's on the same line.
The intent is different, like kind of, but often the audience will comment if they feel that, like you've done it on purpose.
So they can twist around your intention.
Yeah, I mean,
I
they
see.
Well, if
definitely
you look
can.
if you do look at a lot of creators on TikTok, for instance, which is one of the reasons I don't go onto TikTok, that there is a lot of content, and TikTok is one of the very, very worst offenders. There's a lot of people that are posting content that is sexist, racist, transphobic, so on, for the intention of creating engagement, because then that drives the algorithm.
Yeah, and that's rage bait.
That's rage bait. That is almost guaranteed more than anything else to get you attention. Because, and unfortunately, but that's why it's the word of the year. However, I thought we could make our own. So I've come up with a couple of suggestions, and then I'm going to ask you guys if you have any suggestions for the
have
she
a word.
word after hours word of the year. A cockwomble, always a good one.
Love a
Cockwomble.
cockwomble. That's brilliant.
I've never heard that before.
You've never heard
No, it
cockwomble?
can't. No,
Calling
I
someone a
think I have
cockwomble?
quite a good
Can't be. You
vocabulary,
can't
but
be.
what?
You can't have been brought up in the UK and not
never
know
heard that
cockwomble.
before.
Oh, that's because she's young.
I have
Incontinent.
Incontinent. That's a real good one. I came
There's
across that
also
one.
fructose intolerant.
What's that?
Fructose
Fructose.
fructose intolerant.
You know what? That every time I'm in a restaurant and they say any allergies, I always want to say, yeah, I'm allergic to bullshit. That's what I always want to say. It's like an intrusive thought. Every time they go, and any allergies, I'm always so tempted to go, just
I say yes to humans.
Oh, you do?
I do.
You're not slightly awkward there at all, are you?
nourish your body with pure, ethical, organic vitamins and supplements. Browns, empowering wellness by prioritizing your health.
Periods are part of the game, but they don't have to throw you off your game. Try new Always Platinum for up to 100% leak protection, faster absorption, dry feel, and it's more cushiony, so you can focus on your game. It's a new period, always.
We know when we need to take that pause, that break, but we feel guilty for stepping away from our partners, kids, and work. We feel like we need someone's permission to have something that we simply deserve. The She Word has partnered up with Myoka Spas to give you just that, your permission to take time for yourself, the time you wouldn't usually take, but really should. Use code word SHEWORD for 10% off any individual treatment when booking online at myoka.com, or enjoy 10% off any gift box in store with gift vouchers over €100. Sargasm, I like this.
What's that?
Sargasm.
Orgasm.
When you're
Orgasms are
so desperate to be sarcastic, all you can do is close your eyes and moan. Or bitchuation, a situation that forces you to act like a bitch. Any good words for this year?
It's not as entertaining as the ones you've listed, but my word of the year is the word perspective.
Ooh.
Okay.
Because
Okay, Dalai Lama. Having a laugh here.
no, and my
Right,
friends,
Deepak
if you're watching
Chopra.
this, you know who you are. My friends would be like, oh my God, because because as you described, as you said in the intro, I'm always one with the opposing view. But I don't think it's technically opposing. I think it's genuinely just a case of perspective, that you're seeing it one way, I'm seeing it one way, and that's completely okay. And I've really come to understand that, and I really try my best, even when I fuck up, and I do so many times. I try my best to be empathic towards whoever is explaining to me the way I've pissed them off, and I'm like, you're right, yes. I mean,
Do you piss off a lot of people? Does this
apparently
happen
I
to you a
do.
lot?
Apparently I do.
Lee, who tells you that? Who's told you that?
I think you need to change your friends.
Yes, we're just gonna hang us together all the
Yeah,
time.
Absolutely. Just
maybe
the
it's just your perspective.
But can I ask you?
I told you it wasn't gonna be as fun.
No, but can I ask you a question? Because I like the idea of perspective. However, you do have on this show, but also as long as I've known you, you've always had this sort of tendency to look at the other side. Is it intentional? Would you come to us an issue and say,
True, you do.
okay,
Are you being contrary?
Yes,
As in,
contrary.
No,
contrary.
You are
no, it is, I'll tell you.
obtuse.
It's not an intention. Look, I was brought up with a lot of sisters, and we're obviously not always going to get along. And there are moments where I really, really couldn't understand them. They're older than me sometimes, and sometimes the things they would say, I'd be like, I can't get it. But then if I really stopped and I put myself in their shoes, then I would understand it. I don't see it. In my shoes, I don't see it. But in theirs, I do.
But just to be the younger pain in the ass sister, you would be opposing to what they say. If they said black, you said white. Just because you were the pain in the ass, snotty-nosed, little kid.
Vera, I really try. And when people answer a question, I really try and listen to what they say, because I'm really interested to hear the answer. Because sometimes, and especially even on a table like this, sometimes you guys say things and that I say, I never thought about it that
It's
way.
really interesting, isn't it? Because sometimes you think to yourself, like, how could somebody not be
Mela,
seeing this in the same way as
it's
me?
true. And I'd be really set in my ways. Like, no, this is how I think. And I advocate for the way I think. And then someone says something and I go, no, Stride, you're right as well. I see that.
I mentioned it on the show, one of the first shows that came out this year. I really didn't understand this until the end of last year. I'm, quite old when I worked this out, that we don't love in the same way. We don't view things in the same way. So, for instance, you could be in a relationship with someone, whether it be a friendship or a family member or a romantic relationship, and you're thinking that my love is my version of love. This is how love is, and I'm right, and this is how I see it. And the
Love
other,
language.
not quite love language, because the other person could be looking at that going, yeah, but I'm. So let me say, the instance I gave was that for some siblings, let's put it in context of family, some siblings, they would go immediately. A parent says, I need help, and you go.
Okay.
The other sibling's like, no, why should I? They think that they're right, but so does the sibling who always jumps in and helps.
But surely
and
the one who helps is the one in the right.
Well, is it?
No, not
Is it?
necessarily. No.
If they've
that
asked for
depends on
help,
the
what
boundaries,
is
depends on the situation.
There's no situation, I feel. Give me a situation where your parents ask for help and you don't run to them. Well, how is that justified that you don't go and help them? You want them to navigate
You
something
can't drop
by themselves?
everything. You can't drop. I am the kind of my relationship with my surviving parent was that as soon as I was told I need or I want, I went, and I did it to my own detriment. Because sometimes that I want, I need is not genuine. It's a manipulative thing. So I think it depends. Like, I mean, for example, if your parent phones you up and tells you, listen, I fell down the stairs, I've broken my ankle, can you come and help me? You're not going to say no.
That's that. I thought it was that kind of context.
Okay.
Is it?
So I think it depends on the situation.
It depends on the situation, but I find it remarkable that just sticking with siblings for a second, that you would have children brought up in the same home who had radically different views of what
But they're not actually brought up by the same parents. And I got
Absolutely.
I got
This is the
I
other.
don't know
Yes,
about
each
that
child
because-
has a different each
Upbringing.
child
I
has
don't
a
know.
personal upbringing.
that's
Yes,
true. That's true.
I don't have siblings. I have children, and I have this thought about my children. Why don't my children think it in the same way as me? I can't.
Because you
understand.
reason, people, you raise them, so how I don't
Yes,
think
these
my
are my
way?
children.
Yes.
Why do
That
they
must be
have a
really
different
hard to deal
opinion
with,
to me?
Because you raised them
Yeah.
possibly to have a liberal mind, so they were able to make up their own.
Yes, liberal as long as it's the same opinion as mine. But I mean,
Jokes aside.
obviously, it has. I accept it now, but it's a battle every time because I think that when I say something or I have an opinion, that they should, as my children, automatically agree and have
with
the
you.
same opinion. And when they don't, I'm still now. One is 33 and one is 22. When they don't share my opinion, I am still genuinely shocked.
You're baffled, like
shocked.
I
And-
could
and-
understand because you would kind of like expect that they would almost be like
Yes,
really
and
close
I'm like, but how can you? What,
how can you see
But they're
Yeah,
not
I'm
going
like,
to talk. They wouldn't stop because their experience. You came to a conclusion about something because of where you were in life
Experience,
and
your
your
life
experience and if it was the 80s or whatever. Whereas they're experiencing it in a
Yes, but what I'm saying is, it's my only way of because I don't have siblings. I can understand that thought that you would think siblings being brought up together should be so similar. As
Well,
in,
they would
I think
have
that's
tough
about-
I think there would be quite a few fundamental things like values
this
and
is
stuff.
interesting because my sister and I, and we're like 3.5 years apart. She's older than me, and we are
Total
so
opposite.
different. We're so different. But I agree that on like lots of fundamental things, I think we're very similar. Like really, when it comes down to it, but everything else, we're very different.
different.
And we
values.
were
I
raised,
think values as children are probably similar values, right?
Yeah,
Values, ethos.
value-based. What? Yes,
But then
but then
characteristics are
lots of other
different.
things. I kind of like. Often, my sister will say something, and I'll be like, "God, is that what you interpreted from that situation?" Because I didn't take that at all.
And that's it. This is what I'm saying, is that
we
I
always have that, and it's really strange because we're a very
Very
close
close.
family. My sister and I are very close, and We were a very close, small family. You know, it's just like my parents and us, and we were always did things together. It's not like she had a completely different schooling or life experience than I did. No, we were both very much brought up in the same environment, same dynamic, but we are very different.
But they do say, I mean, I've been reading a lot where it says that siblings with the same parents in the same have totally different upbringings.
We are so different in, like, I often think to myself, like, kind of, if everybody says like, oh, the sky is blue, my sister would be like, that's interesting because I saw it as this. I'm like, what?
But then you can take that across into relationships as well.
Of
Romantic
course,
relationships, because I can remember being in romantic relationships where what I was experiencing was absolutely not what I would now consider to be a healthy and positive relationship. But they thought they were giving it all. And you sit there and think to yourself, really?
But that, I think that is the person that you were with is manipulative and controlling as well.
I also think,
you think that they were genuinely thinking they were giving it all?
I think in one or two instances they did.
Yeah.
They just didn't know any better. And I think that's the point, is that I think we base our opinions and our interpretations on the experience, like you said, Tez, the experiences that we've had.
And it also depends on your own values and your own experience and your own, like, kind of look at what love should look like, for example, or what a relationship should look like.
You see, this is really where I think it's very interesting, and coming back to Tez's word perspective, because we're all sitting at this table. We don't agree on everything, but there is, I believe, synergy between us. And I believe with the groups of friends and the relationships that you build, there always has to be these fundamental core values that keep you together, that attract you to other people. And there are people that you will not be attracted to and not get on with. And that's because they don't have those fundamental values or beliefs that you have. Maybe.
I don't think that's why you wouldn't get along. I think just some people sometimes because you're so similar as well, because you're so, because you might be a twat. But I also think that sometimes if you're too similar, it doesn't work in your favor.
Really?
I was listening to a podcast today, and it was this woman who was talking about AI, and well, the subject wasn't AI, but she in the whole conversation, some of this thing about AI came up, and how many of us are turning to ChatGPT and AI and whatever to have conversations with and friendships with, and say, for example, if you have a problem, you ask AI for their opinion or whatever, blah blah blah. And what she said is that the problem with having AI as your friend is that you are constantly feeding in to AI. So AI, your ChatGPT or Chat, whatever you want to call it, always answers you what it thinks you want to hear.
It absolutely does, by the way.
So it
wants to satisfy you.
Can I pause for a second? Can you smile, because our videographer's actually taking a photo. Anyway, moving on.
So your ChatGPT wants to appease you.
It
wants
does.
to make you happy. So it will feed you the answer that it thinks you want.
So I find that to be so irritating, by the way.
And so there is no, what she was saying is that there is no pushback. And
No room for perspective.
and this is, she's saying, this is why these AI relationships, let's say, because people are looking into it now, even let's say, for example, instead of going to your therapist, they're going to AI or asking for questions, or if you have a problem with your girlfriend, you go to AI. And the advice that you are being given is always on your side. And this is why it is becoming so dangerous.
Well, also on top of that, AI machine learning, which is essentially what it is not necessarily accurate. So we all assume that if you ask ChatGPT is going to give you the right answer. And it's now proven that that is not the case.
I can tell you it's proven many times, because I often ask it things that I kind of know or whatever, and it gives me the wrong answer. And then I answer it and say, well, no, that's not the case. Why did you tell me that? And it goes, you're right. I'm really sorry. I got my wires crossed a bit there. But, and I'm like, okay, that's because I know the answer. But what about people who don't know?
yeah,
and they're
exactly.
just trusting it blatantly. It's
Yeah.
so annoying.
And there are millions and millions of people who are using it as their sort of like friend or as their sounding board, let's say.
Yes.
And the ones which are feeding into what we want to hear are the ones which are getting more and more popular. So the AIs that are managing to react best to feeding you what you want are the ones which are going to be the most popular, making most
Yeah, it's a
money.
curated therapist, it's a curated
Exactly.
everything. Oh.
And it comes back to, because I'm massively, massively skeptical about AI. Not AI use, this relationship that we're talking about, chatbots. And it comes back to brain,
scary, yeah.
the brain
It's
rot.
scary.
It is frightening.
Brain rot,
And it
yes.
comes back to brain rot, which
Yes,
was the word of last
does.
year, which is where we're asking something and we're not questioning, we're not seeking, we're not searching,
well,
and we're just saying
ChatGPT
because
said,
ChatGPT.
yeah.
And the one thing that nobody's talking about when it comes to bots and chatbots is that chatbots and ChatGPT, Grok, et cetera, have the use of water. I know, but the use of water to cool the systems for ChatGPT and the likes thereof has exceeded the entire bottled water industry in industry
So-
Did you
sorry,
know
what-
that?
You
what
lost
is
me, yeah?
Because it uses water.
It uses a lot.
Yes, because it's overheating. Yeah.
The ChatGPT and the likes thereof, Grok, et cetera, uses more water than the
So it's a
entire
computer thing. It's like an
global-
engine thinking all the
entire
time.
global bottled water industry. We are in a very dangerous place here because nobody's talking about that. No one's talking about the environmental impact of being able to sit there and say,
Because it overheats. Because it's a
never
machine.
going away.
It's a
Never
machine.
gonna
It's
go
well,
away.
Yes. Is it because there's lots of other types of AI. I actually sit on a podcast for a company called Ebo, and Ebo implements AI to help with banking, and it helps with the National Health Service in the UK. And in that instance, there are certain skills that AI can implement which cannot be met by
human.
the quantity of humans or human resources available. So I get that. But we're talking about the lazy. Here we're talking about the lazy. I call it lazy AI, where you're just going to ask
I
ChatGPT
would
everything.
never, ever turn to AI or ChatGPT or whatever to ask an opinion about a relationship or how I should deal with my partner or anything like that. I don't use it like that.
But it's quite interesting
would.
because I feel like it's this thing that it's kind of like taking away from human connection.
Yes.
Right. I think that's what we're all.
In fact,
kind
she
of like
said on this
afraid
thing, she
of.
was saying about how lonely everybody's becoming.
Well,
because
well,
of
it was interesting because I like a few months ago, several months ago, whatever. I was traveling and on my TikTok, I made a TikTok and I said, I'm going to this place and
Don't I do?
I'm going to this place and does anybody have any recommendations? Okay, thanks.
As a country,
Does anybody?
place,
Yeah, I was going to Bologna, and I said I'm going to Bologna. I don't really know much about it. Does anybody have any like recommendations for me or anything you would suggest I do? Blah blah blah. Right, and I had like a comment, a couple of comments, being like,
just ask
just
ChatGPT.
look it up. You're so lazy that you can't like look it up or whatever. And I'm like,
No, I want
whatever
a personal,
happened to like human connection, personal recommendations? Like, no, I want like an anecdotal experience. I want to connect
Well,
with people.
Tez, at the beginning of the year, you were asking out on your socials, I want to go somewhere like you. I want to go somewhere with Ben where I can.
Find things to do with a 4-year-old, because obviously not every country is going to cater for,
Yeah.
in reality.
You were asking about what holiday to go on?
Yes, with like,
What would people recommend?
yes. And I was asking for people's personal kind of recommendations that they've experienced with their partner, that they've experienced with their 4-year-olds
What
or
feedback
whatever.
did you get?
And the feedback was quite good. The issue is that a lot of places are closed in February, but that's a story for another day. But I do understand where you're coming from. And this is something we're seeing in education a lot because at the moment, obviously we know that when you assign work to students, we know more often they're definitely not going to go to an encyclopedia like we used to do or go to Encarta. They're going to go to ChatGPT. And what we are attempting to do as educators is that obviously we're running their work through a system, but to see that it's
Can you tell me how you do that? You take a photo of it though, or you
No,
you
there are
type it in?
there are particular websites that you would upload it into.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. However, we also need to jump on the wagon as educators, and we can't bury our head in the sand and be like,
I agree,
this
yeah.
is
It's happening,
yes,
so let's deal with it.
This is
Not
the
let's
kind of
pretend
attitude
it's
that I have taken, and quite a few educators I feel have no choice but to have jumped on board. You got the information from there. What have you retained?
That's it.
Tell me
That's
about
it.
it.
That's
Tell me,
it.
what can you... So sometimes, for example, so I teach theatre, right? And theatre has become an O-level, etc. And more often than not, they have to present their work in performance form or in presentation form. And I noticed that they're very stagnant or they're reading, and I literally close the laptop and I tell them, okay, like, what do you know? What has stayed in your brain? You've researched this. You've researched chicken twisties. What do I need to know about chicken twisties?
Yes, because
can
if
tell
they're
you that.
getting the information from AI, it's okay as long as they're reading it.
Well,
What the
check.
problem is when they
Just copy and paste. Brava.
That's
So
the problem.
I have no objection, because what is the difference? We just got our information from Encarta.
We
from
had
Google.
100
Yes.
books.
Whoa. But we just said
That we
But
don't
AI
know.
doesn't
Yes, but
always
you-
get it
you-
right.
You need
That's
to
it.
get it
It
from
often
a good...
gets it wrong, actually. I've noticed that it often gets
In fact,
it wrong.
now most of the time with certain things and certain subjects, like for example with law, with health or whatever, they have the disclaimer.
But
that
this was
you're-
always here, guys. When I was at university, Wikipedia was the big
Yeah,
website.
yeah, true.
And so this was not something and we had
But
to.
I
But
had
AI
to-
is much
But
worse
I
than-
think at that time we wouldn't just kind of like quote Wikipedia and be like, yeah, it's obviously correct because Wikipedia
Yes.
told me. We would kind of like maybe have a little bit more discernment and kind of be like, I'm not sure about that or
You'd
whatever.
paraphrase it possibly, and
But
put-
I've noticed, for example, even people posting things like, you know how, I know you don't use TikTok, Trudy, but when you're
I
on
do.
TikTok, you can post a photo in the comments. So often what people will do is they'll screenshot ChatGPT about something. They'll ask it something that's related to the video and they'll post it as kind of like, see, ChatGPT says this. So
okay, so it's the Bible. It's become the Bible.
Yeah, it's kind of like
when you
people are
ask
like,
Google.
well, if
in
ChatGPT
my
says
when Google came up, you'd ask Google. So
Yeah.
for everything,
Yes.
and Google would be your dictionary. Your
But at least when you're using Google, you get like different sources and this and that, and you can go and like kind of
Listen,
But this is
sorry,
sorry, just to add on this Google thing. I mean, this is one of the trends. I'm just looking at the trends for online behavior for the coming year, and Google is taking as a news source or an information source is taking a nosedive. People are now
because we're using
people are
English
now
and
no, not even AI. People are asking directly into TikTok and into Instagram and social media.
you ask onto TikTok.
go into the search engine.
Yeah, you just
You
the
go into the
TikTok
search engine.
engine is,
Alright.
is
Listen,
actually it's pretty good.
I found
a
myself
lot-
a source of a
it,
lot of information.
I found
yes.
myself.
It's very good
I
for
did
things.
it over the Christmas period. I wanted to create a soup, and I went into Instagram and I typed in Asian noodle.
Oh, I did
chicken
that on
soup,
Pinterest.
and the same concept, and the
Yeah.
videos come up, and I realized, wow, I didn't think
Yeah.
I would automatically have gone to Google or to Pinterest. Now I'm doing it on my Instagram.
Yes, you can get a lot more information.
Yeah.
Insta, I feel like, yeah, kind of, but like TikTok, I feel like
yeah.
it's very good. It's very specific.
TikTok,
right.
TikTok. I found somebody who explains. I think it's called Dad Explains Politics or something like that. And he's this guy. Must be late 50s, early 60s, and he's really good. I mean, I started understanding things which I didn't understand. Just the daughter talks to him, asks him a question, and he explains it all. Like even this whole thing with Trump and what's going on and why and
He
whatever.
probably doesn't
explains-
make her feel like an idiot because she doesn't
No,
know
he's
the
just
answers.
talking.
Layman.
He's
Which
just
is
talking.
great.
Really good, really good. I mean,
More
really
often than
good.
not, I find that when I ask something political, when I don't know the answer, the reaction is very condescending. So what happens? Then I'm not going to ask again. And I noticed this over the years where I'm not at all politically
condescending
inclined.
where though? Online?
No. Even
your
if I'm
humor?
yes. More often than not, like I would be like, so who is this guy? Why am I don't know who he is?
Oh, that's so
and
annoying.
I'm like, I'm asking you.
Obviously
Clearly, I
not,
don't.
yeah.
I mean, if I wanted
Wow,
to.
but that's good. That's a kind.
But you've never had conversations with people
Yes,
like this, and you're a bit
well-
like, how crap. I mean,
I don't take things
It's not
so
my
personally,
field, so
though.
how would I know?
But why
that's
do you get so?
I
Why do you
hate,
get
I hate
offended
somebody.
by it?
Not offended.
I
The
feel
reaction
like-
could have been better. Oh, you could have
Yeah.
educated me and that's it. And would
Yeah,
have
I
shared
know,
the
but
gin and life
sometimes you
went
say
on.
things-
Yeah, I agree. Actually, I think that's kind of like.
I don't
a
think
bit-
people mean it, though. I think sometimes we're a bit too sensitive.
Well, it depends.
Too sensitive if you've literally told me, don't know who that is. No, I don't.
Well, I suppose it depends how they've said it.
Yes,
Possibly,
well,
I don't
that's a
know.
big part of. I feel like
Listen,
life
can
is
I
all
tell
about
you what my word of the year is going to be?
Yeah, I didn't.
Mine is going to be cock.
La cock.
That's it. Because
Unsensible.
cockwomble has been my word of the year for many years. I've used cockwomble for a long time.
I actually can't believe these guys have never heard the word cock.
Oh, I've never
I heard
heard.
I can understand though, because
Do you
it's
know
a
what-
very
I've
British,
never heard
it's a
that
British
before.
thing. How you don't know, I
That's
don't
quite
know.
strange because I
You
feel like
know what a
often when
womble
I'm-
is, right?
Wombles
it
on
not like-
Wimbledon.
Womble. Are they not like bears?
Yeah, well,
Well, they're not
yeah.
bears,
They
yeah.
they were like
Characters.
hedgehogs, right?
Oh,
No, they were
They were wombles. They were cockwombles.
wombles. They're wombles.
right. But
So now I'm going to shorten it,
are
and
you
I'm going to
sure-
go for cock.
Lovely.
Were they actually called
You are a
cock womble?
No, they were called
No, they were called the Wombles.
Where does the
The
cock
Womble.
come
It
It
in?
was a
Cock.
children's TV show. Let's not do
But
that.
where does the cock come into it?
Because somebody came up with the word cockwomble.
In what context would you use it? Oh, cock
Cock
womble.
What a
Exactly.
cock
What
womble.
a
He's a real
cockwomble.
cockwomble.
An idiot.
Oh, it's
Like
a
he's a real
derogatory
dick,
term.
you know? Yeah.
It's
So now
not-
we're going to
it's
go
not
for.
positive.
I'm going to go for cock.
Okay,
I'm
so you're going to
shorten
have
it.
perspective.
Yeah.
Nerdy. You're going to have cock.
Cock.
Surprising. Any word?
I think it just describes a
Is
lot
this-
of people.
My theme of the year, or
Well, it could
be.
be.
If it's your word of the year, it has to be your theme of the year.
God, I mean, I'm really stumped here, but
I feel like wedding.
It's probably yeah.
Actually, not. I'm really not actually that type of person. Like, I actually don't really want a wedding, to be honest. I mean, like, I'd like to
You
get
set
married.
a date.
No. But also, like, I'm not going to have like a big wedding, or I mean, you know, when people are like, "Oh, it's the day you dream about from when you were little." I never.
No, I was never like that.
I never
either.
thought about getting married when I was a kid. Like, I never had that kind of, it's just never really been part of my kind of narrative. So it's not really something that I'm really keen on. But also, I have to admit that having lost both my parents a couple of years ago, that I feel very much that like having a wedding would very much highlight that missing, that lack, that I would feel them very much missing in the day. And so I would rather just not do it.
Can I tell you something?
Everybody all around, everybody's getting down. Everybody's like, wow, there's a new sound in town. Everybody's like, wow. Everybody all around, everybody's getting down. Everybody's like, wow, there's a new sound in town. Everybody's like, wow, that's just our style.
Ideal Standard, celebrating 90 years of success in the local market, exclusively from Satariano.
Bless.
Go on.
I got married at 48 and I didn't have my family, any of my family at my wedding.
She did because we are her family.
Well, coming to that. And this is, I guess this is for anybody who's thinking about getting married and so on, because I feel like there's a big question about the relevance of marriage in a second that we should have that
Oh, yeah,
conversation.
that's quite interesting. actually.
But I would say I didn't have my family because my parents couldn't travel and other members weren't invited. I had 48 close friends and my husband's friends as well, and a couple of and you were right. It was like having
Yeah.
family. Every single person I had at that event was there because I wanted. I didn't know you then, Sue. I wanted. We could have another wedding. That'd be cool. We'll just all turn up at Emily's. I think things have changed. I think that whole idea of having a huge wedding for everybody else, because essentially and this was my second wedding, and the first wedding was for everybody else. This one was for
you.
me and for him. And it was everybody that was there because we wanted them to be there.
Listen, I say that, and I hear you, and I agreed with you. But realistically, I had a big wedding, and realistically, I wasn't like, no, I was very
Intentional.
Yes, I just happened to have
So you
fingers in
didn't
many
ha-
pies,
you
and
didn't have a lot of people at your wedding that you didn't know.
No.
Because a lot of people do have that. Like their father,
I know what she's
like the
maybe a
fathers,
person.
the fathers invite all the people that they know,
No,
and
but Dave and I paid for our wedding, so we were very
different. Yeah.
The only issue we had were, and not even a lot of, but they were the partners of obviously people we worked with, for example, and we wouldn't have.
How funny! We were talking about that. Marisa and I were talking about that yesterday because we were talking about a wedding that happened a few years ago, and they only invite. For example, let's say if I was married to somebody they didn't know, I got invited, but my husband or partner wasn't invited.
Be invited alone.
Yes, they invited. They cut the numbers like that. They only invite if they didn't know the partner or whatever. They didn't.
Wouldn't.
They were the people were invited on their own. And of course, a lot of people talked about it and whatever, but that's what they did. And we were talking about it yesterday, and she was saying,
but isn't it essentially
agreed with it.
Cutting it back to what it is? A wedding, a marriage, is a promise between two people. It's a legal contract, a legal binding contract, and
Yes.
it's a love contract.
But I think
surely going into that contract, going into that agreement should be entirely up to you how you do that.
Well, it all comes back to boundaries, doesn't it? Really,
Etiquette as well, what do's and don'ts, what's expected. Yeah.
But I feel like very much like our relationship has always been very much very close and very personal. I feel like we don't have a lot of like kind of couple friends or people who know. I've got like a lot of friends of my own. He's got friends of his own, but it's not like
You don't double date and
no,
stuff.
not really. A lot of our relationship is very kind of. It's very kind of intimate, and so I would want our wedding,
To be
our
the same,
marriage to
to be a
reflect
reflection
that.
of that. Yeah.
Same thing with.
So, are you going to have anybody at the wedding, or is it
Are we
just
gonna
going
have
to?
what?
Are you going to have anybody there? Or is it just,
I'm thinking
No.
we'd like to elope. I think that's kind of what I would like to do, and I think he's quite keen as well. He's a very private person, and I feel like I also wouldn't want to kind of like. I don't know. I would like him to be himself on the day. Do you know what I mean? And feel kind of like free and comfortable. And as
so
I say,
not even your sister, for example.
she'll kill me. I can't say. I can't admit that now. I have to deal with it. I'm thinking like maybe like we'll elope and get married, and then maybe have like a small do where everybody.
That's what
can
my
come.
friends did.
Yes.
I think that's kind of
That's what my
like feels
friends
like
did.
it fits us, and I think that the wedding should like reflect your relationship. Like I don't think that you should feel forced into doing something that. But then we're also like a little bit older, and nobody's going to force us into doing anything anyway. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause
I'm
we
going
don't
to
have
into that because I think that's absolutely. And I'm going to say,
Yes.
Tez, you want to open something sparkly?
I opened the
opened the
chicken
chicken.
ones.
I was thinking
I think
of
about
the
liquids,
spark, yes.
not twisties. I'm dry.
Ah,
No, you have so. She's after something else.
she's dry.
Who's come up with a word? You haven't had your word yet. Your word of the year.
Even you haven't had your word.
Elope. No, you wouldn't say elope.
Elope. Boundaries.
Boundaries is a good one. Okay.
Boundaries.
How about a word?
What's your
of the
word
being
of the week? Of the
I
year?
feel like I want to.
Ready? Wait, it's gonna pop. Ready?
Ready?
To 2026 and all great things.
Yes.
Indeed.
There we go.
Cheers. Happy birthday.
Jen.
All right.
Happy belated.
Yes.
Blue cheese. I can't stand blue cheese. I hate blue cheese. Do you like blue cheese?
I like blue cheese. Yes.
How do we feel?
Oh yes, there's the aftertaste of mold. Oh,
So far, the chicken ones, huh?
I
like
quite
the
like the
chicken?
chicken ones, but as I say, I'm a fan of a stock cube. So,
No, for me it's the original one.
well, you know.
I
What
love
about
it.
the sweet paprika? Let's open those.
Oh,
Shall we?
I'll
Sour
have
cream and
the other
onion.
one.
I don't want to see them. I hate anything sour cream and onion. And do you
Ooh,
know what? There's a special.
Finally, a change in color.
Oh,
Oh, you're gonna like these.
Do you know what I really don't like? That like maybe a controversial opinion, I'm not sure.
Hi.
But
Hello, welcome.
anyone who opens and orders and eats green Pringles on the plane, there's a special place in hell. There is a special place in hell.
No,
for
I like
you.
them.
Shame.
You
I-
like them,
I do.
Sue?
You know, there's a you know who there's a special place in.
The cheese and onion, no?
Yeah, they. I don't know. There's
The
like
green,
sour
sour
cream and
cream,
onion.
sour
or
cream.
something.
No, it's wrong what you're saying.
When I hear somebody asking for the green ones and they pop them open on the plane, I'm like,
No, I'm with you. Although salt and vinegar can
the
stay.
only thing on a plane that deserves people to go to hell for is if they clap when it lands.
Yes.
Och daqshekk. Okay? Och daqshekk.
Yes.
I have to tell you though.
cheers.
No, hang on
I
a
don't-
second.
Everyone except you clap
Tez,
when it
Tez.
lands.
did you say you don't hate that?
I hate them clapping.
I thought Tez said when people crap on a plane
Yeah,
as
that's
it's
not ideal.
landing. And I was like, who does that? Who craps on a
Probably
plane
clap.
as
Probably
it's landing?
clap. I'm sorry, I have
More
an
people
answer.
than you
It
would
really hurts.
expect.
Clap.
Clap. Clap, not crap.
I think these are quite nice.
No.
Well,
These-
because Twistees do have a
Last but not least.
well,
Oh, you're nice.
Those are not offensive.
no,
They're pretty good.
Sour cream and onion, so many things wrong with that. You know, see you and me.
love sour
I don't
cream
like
and
it. I
onion.
don't know. It's just
It's
something
more
about
onion
it
than sour.
gives me a bit.
All right,
of
ladies and ladies, we said before we sat down, we were going to have some problem solving. We were going to take some we're going to bring this to the table, to this show. We're going to bring some real dilemmas and we were going to have
Dissect.
a go at answering them.
Yeah.
Okay. Did anyone bring any real dilemmas to the table?
I've got one.
Oh,
Quite
okay.
interested to hear what people think about this, actually. 'cause
Brilliant.
I feel like I have a differing opinion to
Okay.
maybe the norm.
And we'll also say, if you're watching, if you're listening, do you have an opinion on Emily's Dilemma? That's a great show. Emily's Dilemma. Then do please add your comments underneath here. We'd love to know what you think.
Also,
Ems.
they can write in with any problems.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
We'd
like
obviously keep you
Agony-
anonymous, of
Yes,
course.
but they can write in
yeah.
any questions, any
Fire away.
So I had a DM a couple of weeks ago that kind of like
Oh, this is like real.
me thinking. Basically, this lady messaged me and she said that she's been with her boyfriend for like 2.5 years. Everything's perfect. They get along very well. Their like families get along well. She thinks he's probably the one that she's going to, the one. They're going to settle down together. But there's one thing that he does that she can't stand. He follows loads of Instagram models on Instagram and likes all of their posts. So she said that she'll often like kind of be scrolling and she'll see someone and it will come up in the description that blah, blah has liked this
it.
post and it's her boyfriend. And she said she hasn't confronted him about it or spoken to him about it yet, but she's not sure how to approach it. And what do I think and what should she do?
I think it's really sweet that she reached out because she must have felt
It's obviously
you have
bothering
this like big
her.
sister vibe on
that's
social
nice.
media, for her to reach out with something so personal and she wanted to share it with you. So kudos to you.
It's true. It's very sweet.
I think she should start with bringing it up with him because he might be very much inclined towards saying, okay, if it makes you uncomfortable, then I'll stop. But if he doesn't know it's bothering her, then this raises the question of shouldn't he?
I mean, seriously, would a guy not know that would bother a woman?
But would it bother every woman? Because, for example, if I'm being completely honest, I don't really think it would bother me that much.
Okay.
But does that
I
because
think-
your
I-
partner does do it? Because if they don't do it, you don't know.
Does your partner do it?
I don't think so. But the thing is, I just wouldn't even really pay much attention to that because it just wouldn't bother me.
Okay, so I think there are two things to it. Number one, I think a lot of people nowadays put a lot of importance onto what a person is liking or not liking. So if their boyfriend is liking or not liking, or because I see loads of comments where there'll be women in relationships and say, because my boyfriend likes pictures of other people on Instagram, which I don't think is necessarily wrong. But then if he's liking loads of models' pictures, then I would
So I think there's a difference between like a like. Now it's different if he's putting flame emojis under a post or something. I feel like that's a little like embarrassing, right? For you, like for the partner, because you just sort of be like, okay, well, you don't need to go that far. But with the likes, God, I don't know.
You know, I feel like if it was someone anonymous, if it was just a model
Right.
on I would have much less of an issue about that than if it was somebody that my partner knew.
Oh, that's interesting. That's a good point, actually. I probably would feel the same, actually. But then I also kind of think to myself, can we not just like all grow up and accept that we all kind of like fancy people and think people are hot and like maybe...
But yes,
I don't know if I can say that,
a couple are one thing, and then a couple of models. But if it's like loads of models, then it's a little bit like...
You might have an issue you need to address. Ara, I think if Dave were liking, I'm going to give you as an example, your stuff, and I had an issue with you, I felt intimidated by you, I felt like...
like a personal
Yes,
thing.
and I'd be like, oof, she makes me uncomfortable and he keeps doing it, then I think I'd have an issue
Yeah,
with
that's
that.
different. That's totally different situation. Yes,
but if
what
you
if it's
just-
like, I don't know, some like massive Instagram models like who've got like
I
millions
don't know
of
how much that
followers.
would bother me because
Bikini pics.
in reality, what is his like compared to the millions she's getting?
Nothing, and like maybe he's just like enjoying her photos in private time. Would that upset you?
No, me it wouldn't.
Okay.
I think it's...
personally, it wouldn't upset me either. But I know a lot of people that it would.
I know a
but
lot
for
of
me,
friends
it
of mine who
wouldn't.
have issues with their partners consuming.
Porn or
Yeah.
whatever
I have no issue with
material
that
that they're self-pleasuring.
There you go. Do you want to say that one again? Self-pleasuring too.
Right. So if I mean, like, okay, if you, well, how would you
Well,
feel
again,
about
hang
it,
on a second.
Trude?
That depends on whether that is in absence to that person having a physical relationship with you. Because one of the
okay.
things that we know,
Yeah, that's a good
one of
point,
the things that we know,
actually.
and it is an increasing issue with AI, is the amount of AI synthetic porn that's being created is exponentially out of control. And what that means is that a lot of men and women are now engaging in online content
that is curated for them as well, as we were mentioning
and great
before.
getting their sexual satisfaction from porn and not
Looking
from that.
for it in their partner.
Right.
And
right.
not necessarily you, Tez, obviously,
you-
but
yeah.
not looking for, but not engaging in that physical relationship with that person. Why? Because it's a cheat. Because it's really easy. For the same reason that people are turning to ChatGPT. Because it's a self-soothing. It's convenient, and it's exactly curated to be what they want it to be. You don't have to deal with any conflict. You don't have to deal with difference of opinions.
It's a fantasy.
Exactly. And porn, when we had a show right here
That
talking
is
about
what porn
sex,
is, oh.
what they said was, and I had this explained to me, that porn is theatre. It is not reality. It's fine to watch, but it's not what you should be taking home to the bedroom because you're watching theatre. You're watching something that's been created with all of that in mind, that it's there to be the quick fix, the most convenient way to get you to jerk
Get
off.
Yeah.
And that
After hours, we repeat, after hours, after hours.
but that's where the problem is that if this engagement, if this this involvement that this
It's
individual
distancing
has
people
is
from their
instead
partners.
of
That's what it is. It's doing.
real
Because it was on the
interaction.
podcast that I mentioned earlier. She said that a lot of people are using AI and chat, all of these things for porn and for
Sexual gratification.
sexual. Yes, and so what's happening is that they are distancing themselves from becoming more internalized and distanced from the partner. And so
Yes, and young men, for instance, young men, what is it, 60% of young men today have never actually asked a woman out in person. And 48% of young men would wholeheartedly rather have synthetic sexual satisfaction
sad, eh?
than with an actual woman.
Because it's easier to
Because it's
attain,
easier.
yeah.
Because
I
it's
think,
designed
I think what
completely.
we're saying is basically if the relationship is healthy and you're both getting everything that you need, if somebody's like liking posts and maybe, as I say, I don't know how after hours we are, but having a wank to somebody's Instagram post. posts, then it's fine because everything's fine at home. But if there's problems in the relationship and that's happening and it's kind of like taking over, then that's where the issue is.
I think I would start with that. I think if I put myself in her shoes, I would start by going to Dave and being like, is this something I need to be concerned about? Is this something, what is your drive towards liking
I would
this
be questioning,
person?
like, why is he spending so much time looking at other models or women or whatever? I mean, instead of, I don't know.
Instead of
because
your
if it was
partner.
footballers or football or whatever, I can imagine a guy spending time scrolling through something which is very guyish.
But this
you
is the
know?
idea, the
But-
grass is greener, the like...
Yeah, the grass is greener. That's a problem.
The grass is greener, and also it's a fantasy.
That's what I mean. Sorry, not
It's a fantasy, but then is
that
that the same thing as somebody like looking at page 3, for example, back at page 3? I mean, does that even exist anymore? You know what I'm saying? Like, kind of, you know.
I wonder what the purpose of all of those likes are.
Yes,
because
yes,
I'm
that's
thinking
it.
to
It
It
myself,
might not be.
Why?
It might not have
Why?
any purpose. I think it might. I think. I don't know. It might just be absent-minded. You
Let me tell
don't
you,
find yourself doing
I
this
used
sometimes.
I used to think, I never used to look at who was liking a post of mine.
Which ovvia,
But-
because your engagement is incredible, my friend.
Well, not well, but now I notice people who don't post.
Don't
Yes,
and
like
don't
for
react.
example, my the people who are close to me or whatever, I would expect them to react on a post. When they don't react on it, I question. I think, but why is
It offended
why?
them. You think they don't agree. But
I think, but why?
That's
But
so,
why are
like,
they
that's
not
so, like,
liking?
that gives me anxiety though, because I find, like, especially with like the algorithm at the moment online, right? I'll open my Instagram and I'll like see, let's say for example, Trudy's post will come up at the top, and then within 1 second it's gone. Then it's refreshed. It's somebody that I don't know on my feed, and then I'm like suddenly scrolling. I don't know where Trudy's post has got. Do you know what I mean? And like sometimes it's just kind of, or maybe you open it.
Me.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. So like Sue's saying though,
Don't disappear that quickly. But if I see something, for example, of one of you three,
Yeah.
automatically, I don't even read it.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
as soon as
yeah.
it comes out, I
You'll
click
hit the
like, and
like.
then I
This
go
is
on.
really interesting
Yes.
because we kind of going back to this conversation about what is trending online in 2026. And one of the things that's trending online in 2026 is that actual engagement of likes in Instagram is at an all-time low.
Right, listen.
And what is
it's-
driving the
yeah.
algorithm is actually comments, shares, and engagement
Yeah.
with the post. So the likes are totally irrelevant now.
Okay.
They will not drive
So we
the
need to
algorithm.
write the comments now.
We need to be feeding
it's the
comments.
or
Likes
you need to stay on it long enough for it to record your
Yes,
watch.
that's- yeah.
for it
Like,
to
I
go
mean,
up.
I'll tell you, like, obviously, I am a full-time content creator, so this is my bread and butter. I don't pay any attention to likes anymore at all. I don't even look at it. I don't want to know. But the thing is, I also see like other creators who are like super popular, have massive pages, and they also like their likes are very low. You know, it's just kind of like one of those things that I just feel like metrically.
So if we're trying to support somebody on social media, then we need to comment.
yeah, I would say
Comment
so.
and share.
I would say so. Yeah, the
Okay.
comments are kind of like.
So we should start
But
commenting.
even,
and
even just
sharing.
consuming it in reality, what do brands ask for? They ask for
Yeah, I think they're looking for shares and comments the most. I think it's the comments that are kind of maybe the most important, to be honest, because that really shows like
It's
kind of
human
engagement.
engagement, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that people are feeling something from watching your content.
And apparently the predictions are that the authenticity, which is why micro influencers and genuine engagement. So for instance, we've sat here, not sponsored, with Twistees for the past hour. And we've tried all these different flavors. We've consistently done this, not sponsored. And we've
given
said that-
genuine feedback.
but we've given genuine feedback and a genuine experience. And that is what is now being looked for. Not the, I'm supporting Twistees because I'm being paid to do it.
Well, it's so boring, isn't
Yes,
it?
and
But
that's
all of the
why-
influencers are doing it. They are all doing it. I mean, over Christmas,
That's
all
why-
the
that's why the
influencers
micro
were
influencers
constantly
are on the
saying,
rise.
come and buy over here, come to this restaurant, come and do this. It was like, I remember working with influencers a few years back to help to promote the business, going back when they had first started. And two of the girls that we were working with were constantly opening orders that they had received on, that they had made online. They were constantly opening
Unboxing.
up,
Unboxing.
That's what it was, unboxing. And one of the times that one of them came and I said, this is really terrible, I think, that you're doing this, because you first of all, the normal person, the average person in the street who's following you cannot afford to be buying
so
all
many
the time.
things weekly.
Yeah.
Number one,
Yeah.
because there are lots of youngsters
Yeah.
following, right? Teens, early 20s, whatever.
Who then start questioning, why am I not in a position to
Number
be buying
two,
these things?
you're making them feel shit, because if they can't afford it and they can't aspire or they can't buy like you, or if they are earning a certain amount of money and they're spending it all online buying all of this rubbish, you are to blame.
This is interesting though, because I, as a content creator, see it a little bit differently. I don't know. I feel like
You're not constantly buying stuff and
No,
looking at
that's
stuff
true.
and whatever. You're
Yeah,
not doing
maybe
that. No, your
that's
content is not
true.
like that.
No.
You're not constantly saying, oh, Amazon came today, let's open up my haul.
No.
And it's always designer bags or it's always a new...
But the thing is that I feel that with that kind of content, I mean, okay, I don't really like that kind of content either. It's a little bit of a balance, right? But I often think to myself, it's okay, like, let's say, for example, you're unboxing 10 things. Maybe somebody's thinking about buying one of those things and they want to see what it looks like in
Fair
life.
enough,
What I
fair
mean.
enough. But they were doing it every week.
But then
is
surely-
that normal?
surely
Does the normal average person do a haul every single
No,
week?
but then surely as a discerning audience member, you can kind of say to yourself, okay, well, I'm not interested in those 9 other things, but I did want to see the unboxing of that. So this is actually quite interesting.
But young people don't have that. They don't
Well,
do that.
Well, then
Hang on a second.
Hang
Hang on a second.
Durkos, recommended by dermatologists. Anti-hair loss protocol. A concentration of aminexil in a scalp treatment to reduce hair loss by 29%. And in a stimulating shampoo to boost volume by 48%. A potent synergy for hair 3 times stronger. Anti-hair loss protocol. By Durkos, the dermatological scalp and hair expert.
Welcome to Maison Perrier. Discover Maison Perrier Chic and enjoy our new non-alcoholic cocktail range. Maison Perrier. Enjoy our new sophisticated mocktails.
Marketing has never changed. Marketing has been around. The mechanics of marketing may change, but the principles of marketing have always been the same.
Yes.
We are always being sold shit that we don't need.
Yes.
We're always being sold crap that we don't want. And I think that is where now we've going full circle with this whole idea of influencers and influencer marketing into this micro influencer marketing and genuine brand experience. I will not post anything that I am engaged with unless it's something I believe in.
100%.
Not because I couldn't. I've had brands approach me and I say to them, you don't want to work with me because I cannot authentically represent you.
I've had those conversations also.
Exactly. But if you are involved in a brand that you believe in, you can authentically show evidence.
Most ideal scenario is if you already love Perrier and,
Yes.
and Perrier decides to sponsor you because
Yes.
the love
Exactly
you
what
have for the
happens.
product
Yeah.
is there prior to the sponsorship having started.
Yeah, that's the ideal
That is the
scenario.
ideal
It is
scenario,
ideal.
yeah.
But for example, I mean, obviously, I run a salon, so I see a lot of the stuff which is to do with my kind of business. And you'll see these influencers that, for example, for 2 months, they're promoting such and such salon. We're doing this kind of, and this is the best one.
And then they-
obviously
yeah.
that sponsorship ends and then they go,
They start
so
another
now
one.
it's this salon and now it's that salon.
In
So,
fact, I had this issue
All over
a
the
couple
place.
of years ago. So I've been using this particular brand for skincare to go on the same lines for a while. And over the years, I've had other skincare brands get in touch with me. And my argument has always been the same, that how can I possibly be talking about how great this product is for so long and all of a sudden
Change it.
I'm going to stop? But if your sister had to come to you and ask you, for a recommendation. You're obviously going to go with the one that you've actually been using.
That is the point. And that's what I think that where things have changed.
What has
Because
changed?
it's my
Because
reputation.
if you've paid me enough
It's
to
my
say
reputation.
this other one is amazing.
Exactly. And I've said this out loud. I've said, there's this Vici brand that I use. I use it. I genuinely use it. And it's what is it?
The serums.
The
wash.
the collagen 16.
The lift act.
It's amazing. But I would be happy to say, and I have, so you've got to try
Yeah.
it. You've got to try it because it really is a great product. But if I'm trying to sell you a bunch of shit, how does that reflect on me?
That is the problem. That this is possibly where you can jump in a little bit more, because I'm still on. I don't say that because I feel small, not at all. I am under the micro-influencing bracket. So possibly I don't have that massive brand being like, I'm going to pay you this amount to tell, you know what I mean?
Listen, I think it's
that's why I feel
like it's way more complicated than people like realize. There's so many like things that come into it. So
this is your bread and butter, at the end of the day.
So that's what I was going to say, because obviously that's not your bread and
it's
butter,
not.
right? So it's kind of like you have a different kind of like
so if
pie.
Twisties have given me this packet and I don't like it, I have no problem going back to Twisties and being like, I'm not going to do you a disservice by saying I don't like it. I'm just not going to collaborate with you. If it were my bread and butter, I would possibly think twice, possibly not, but I can understand why you possibly would. And I would be like, instead they're paying me a fuckload to say that this is amazing.
Well, let me tell you, I was approached by Nespresso when I was on XFM. I was approached.
They broke their machine once.
They broke the machine. And they said, we want to sponsor your show. And I said, great. I don't drink coffee.
Mel, I remember this.
And they said to me, well, can't you just pretend to drink it? And I was like, no, I'm very outspoken that I don't drink coffee. And what I actually did do, and I had the agreement with them because you were there, you remember, is I said, I will try every single coffee. But if I don't like it,
You're going to say it.
I'm going to say I don't like it.
You see, I think even if it is your bread and butter, I think that if you genuinely like a product and if your feeling towards it is genuine and you have a genuine collaboration with that brand, you do them a better service because you're genuine about it. And you do a genuine service to your followers because you are being genuine about it. And therefore, it is more effective, more cost effective for the brand and more long term. As opposed
I
to
don't think
trying
everybody
to
has that mentality.
But I think it should be that way. I've never, ever been paid to promote anything. Anything I've ever promoted has only been because I truly believe in it. Only. And that's even at work. I've never even tried to sell a product and it works against me. But never in 30 years of being in business have I ever tried to sell a treatment or a product that I didn't believe in. Never. But and if somebody comes in and tells me, listen, shall I do this? I tell them, listen, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Don't waste your money.
But then that's like there's a certain discernment there that not everybody has. So that's obviously why you've got to be careful, like who the F you're following, because it's like you might be following somebody who has no... Do you know what I mean? And I feel like, if I'm being completely honest, I feel like I'm a little bit kind of...
and in between?
Yeah, kind of in between. So I can understand it from that perspective very much so. But then as a content creator... I think what people don't understand is that like finding brands who will literally be like, okay, and this is what we're going to pay you and we're going to give you this product and it's a brand that you happen to use. It's very unusual. For example, there are lots of brands that I like and I use and I talk about all the time who ignore me. They never like even like double tap on my story mention where I'm like giving them all this like
free exposure.
Yes, because I like the product and I want to share that with my audience. So I feel like an affinity more with my audience where I'm like, I'm going to tell you about this, even though they literally don't acknowledge my existence. And as a content creator, like, okay, ego comes into it to a certain extent. I mean, I consider myself to be somebody who's got my feet on the ground, right? I'm not expecting everybody to lick my ass, but I expect that like maybe if I'm like giving you promotion after promotion after promotion, a genuine recommendation from me, that maybe as a brand, you could say, thanks for the mention, love.
That's right.
I'm not
That's
asking to be paid. I'm not asking for you to send me loads of free things, but at least
don't
like
think
just
you're
say
asking
thank
for something
you.
exorbitant.
You know what I mean? But as a content creator, that can sometimes feel a little bit like a slap in the face, right? That you're kind of saying to somebody, listen, this isn't an ad, it's not a sponsorship, but I'm just telling you, this is real. I paid for it with my own money and I love it.
I come across this on a very small scale, of course, but over the Christmas period, I like to give Secret Santa suggestions, and I try to promote local stuff and stuff. And they don't even acknowledge the mention sometimes. And I'm like, I didn't post because I want to follow or because I want
but you
the engagement.
still find it a little bit, you still kind of like, all right then. Like you couldn't give me a double tap or say thank you.
You didn't have just said thank you.
Yeah.
I'm a bit
And that's what I find.
Exposure.
And that's what I find happens with me like a lot. And then it taints the brand for me because I'm like, yes, I want to use that, but like, I don't want to give them my money. I don't want to like kind of give them my customer, and I certainly don't want to promote it because I'm like, well, F you then. You don't think I'm worth
I don't
even
ever expect them to have to double tap or anything. I don't. When I mention it, because I think that if you're mentioning something genuinely, you're doing it without any expectation of anything in return.
It's not it's not an expectation.
Oh, it's just like a courtesy.
But let me tell you, you are posting something and then you're going back and analyzing who has liked or whatever. I post and I forget. I post and it's gone. I don't look at it. I don't look at it again. I don't look at the comment. I don't know. Then I'm on to the next thing. And it doesn't bother me whether they've commented. I don't even know if they have or if they haven't.
It's a very kind of like interesting thing I feel behind the scenes because I have this discussion a lot, like kind of with my friends and my fiance, like kind of like where I'm like, you know, I'm not sure what to do about this because I've done this or whatever. And the brand reaction isn't maybe what I was expecting or whatever. And it kind of, I don't know, sometimes it leaves you bristling. Now, I have really tried that when I'm in that situation, I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to think of the interest of my audience rather than my own. But it can be hard because think about it. Like also, the other thing is that like, I think what people don't realize is that, yes, it's very nice to get free products, right? Like free skincare, free services.
Don't pay your bills.
But it doesn't pay your bills, bitch. We've got bills to pay. Like there's like you need to be paid, and finding brands that you like, that you genuinely recommend, who are then like, oh yes, and we're also going to pay you for your time and your work and your platform, is actually really hard. Like it takes time to get to that point.
I mean, I've seen a full circle that there's been a lot of influencer marketing that's been used that is in the absence of a marketing strategy. And again, going back to marketing and design, which is what I started in the 1990s, a marketing strategy, I saw that cheeky wink. Marketing strategy was always the beginning place. The platforms and the mechanics that you used were secondary to the marketing strategy. Influencers are not necessarily marketing trained. There's a lot of influencers that have come up that have platforms from creating content,
but it has to make sense to who you engage with. You can't engage with someone.
Listen, this is the cool.
Yeah.
This is the cool thing. Micro and nano influencers take the lead in 2026. Partner with influencers who deeply align with your brand values and have loyal followings. And that is also something I've been looking into, that large numbers of followings are not necessarily the way that's going to be going forward in.
But I feel like it's been like that for a long time.
But it wasn't like that for a long time as well. The shift happened. Yes, this is not happening. The shift didn't happen now in 2026. But there were conversations I had with people, not myself, but other possible micro influencers who were like, they wouldn't get in touch with me because I don't have 20K followers.
Oh, there's definitely
there was this mentality. Why? Because
there still is. In Malta, it's a 15K following minimum. And if you don't have 15K, then you're not going to get engaged on brands through influencer marketing.
But in reality, you should be looking at the engagement.
Yes,
the other stats are what you should be looking at.
Look, so for example, I can see this like from my perspective. I mean, I I've got like a decent sized page. I've got like, I don't know, I think at the moment I'm like 460 something thousand on my Instagram page, right?
Ever so casually, she says.
Right. No, but the thing is, obviously, like it depends what you value, what you see. Like obviously, for me, I'm following people who've got like millions of followers, and I think to myself like, oh, I'm nowhere near that level, right? So it's all about perspective.
Yay!
But it's very interesting because at the moment I'm going through a bit of a phase where like I've lost a lot of followers since I've been on my weight loss journey.
Yeah.
Like my body type has changed, my content has changed. I'm a human being. I'm not going to stay the same and produce the same kind of content or be the same person for like, 6 years of my life. Like people change, whatever. And I'm kind of in a phase at the moment where it's like, at first you're sort of like, oh, like you're losing followers. It's like, ooh, it kind of stings. But then at the same time, I'm sort of like, okay, well, do you know what? F that. I want people to follow me who are going to be aligned with my values, where I'm at in my life at the moment. So it's fine. I don't care. Like I can lose 100,000 followers.
Massive level of maturity to make that leap.
Yes, I suppose so. And that's the thing is that I am older and, like I guess people have different kind of feelings, but I'm not sort of focused on like, I just want my page to get as big as possible.
Yeah.
I'm thinking more about the engagement and like, okay, I want people to be following me who are aligned with my brand as that has changed. And that's it. That's just part of it. You just have to accept that like, I mean, to be honest, like even as I said, don't talk about my relationship, even like me posting about my engagement was like a big thing for me because I never post about my personal relationships. And I kind of have seen it happen before with other women, female influencers, where as soon as they kind of like introduce their partner online, people are like, oh, I'm unfollowing. And it's like, okay, well, I sort of thought to myself, okay, this is a new chapter for me.
Can I say, I'm just before we go on, and we're going to close in a moment with a last dilemma. Did anyone else bring a dilemma to the table? Did you bring a dilemma, Sue?
No, I didn't.
Okay. In which case, I have one written down here. Before we get there, I would just say that I've consistently seen whenever I post about my husband and I get more engagement.
I am the same when I posted my dad. It's impressive how many people love my dad. I didn't expect that, man.
But don't you think that is part of perhaps the story that maybe we're getting beyond this whole idea that influencers are all about me?
Yes, I think it's all changing. I think that wave where it was all about that's going down. Like for example, over the Christmas, one of the influencers posted her dad doing a beef Wellington.
Yeah, Taryn.
Exactly
Love Taryn.
Yeah,
viral. It
she got like
exploded. Everybody started tagging and whatever the chef.
Because people could relate to it as well. People
and it was such a
genuine,
sweet, natural, and he was really good. He was really cute. I mean, I wanted a slice of it.
It was like, hey,
how good, and I think more and more that's what we need.
I think
that's
so.
what we need. We need something which is real, because you can follow the fake for a certain amount of time, but at the end of the day, that it's not real. You know what I mean? And that we need real. We're humans. We need reality.
Yes, and in fact, and that's exactly kind of like I've sort of said to myself that I would rather have, 100,000 followers, whatever, like who are
maybe your followers are changing because you have changed,
and that's fine,
so
and that's how it goes.
Those who were attracted to you, the different you 2 years ago, are now different. So the ones that are going to be following you now are different.
Exactly, and that's just how it goes. And I think we have to just
dilemma.
Yeah, let's watch this space and see how Emily and her love story unfolds online. My boyfriend and I have a good relationship. But there are times...
He bought me a gold ring, but then he's been following other women online.
But there are times when he dons a Darth Vader mask and refuses to answer to anything other than Darth kick ass.
No.
What should I do?
Dump him. What on earth?
Oh!
What? He puts on a mask and pretends he's...
What situation is he putting the mask on?
Well, this is it doesn't say it's an absolute real agony aunt question. My boyfriend and I have a good relationship, but there's times where he dons a Darth Vader mask and refuses to answer to anything other than Darth. Well, is it because do we have kids? Huh?
Hey, you're not Darth Vader. You're Bob who works in a
Maybe
pharmacy.
he's having a fantasy dress
a
up into the
kink.
bedroom.
Is it?
Is it in the
If
bedroom?
it's a kink, I think let it be. Why not?
no, my
like
rich.
there could be way worse things that he could be into. So
My God, if my partner came into the room dressed up in any outfit, I would be so turned off.
It would
I
definitely
be
give me
I
the
would
ick.
laugh. Oh, I'd be like,
are you
what are you
serious?
doing?
What? And then you'd have sex?
Oh, shit, I'd laugh and be like, come on, let me go
Like,
change.
get the fuck out of the bedroom, for God's sake, go and
Ciao.
grow up.
I mean, it wouldn't be for
Fucking
me, but
Clearly, we're not fans of role play here.
Jesus,
This is not like
get
the
some
Ross.
sexy music on, get over here, get your clothes off and just be you,
So,
Madonna.
this is like
not
Ross
dress
and his
up.
fantasy with
I'm not a
Princess
friend.
Leia.
I'm not a
Yes.
Friends fan. So
Oh,
Someone.
terrible.
You're understanding this.
I'm
reference.
hearing you. I'm hearing you, girlfriend. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any thoughts about kink and Darth Vader masks, do feel free to leave your comments. No other dilemmas today.
No.
In which case, it just means that we need to close with our thoughts on the Twisties. Yes or no?
No.
No.
Yes.
I like them for. I feel like it's festive and
Because
fun.
perspective. Go on.
Yes.
I actually
Yes.
hated these and now I've eaten these.
Quite like them.
Yes. Do we have a yes?
No, I don't like the
No.
Jabena flavour
No?
at all.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
These are okay.
What do we have
The
with these?
classic is the classic.
Come on, can't go
No,
wrong.
can't eat
best.
them. Don't like them.
Oh, well, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You never liked Twisties?
Nope.
Do you like cheese or not? You like cheese, but not cheese flavored things. Is that right?
Yeah.
I know.
You cracked the code.
Yeah,
I like that. Sweet paprika.
No.
I like those a lot.
I like them.
They're all right.
Okay.
No.
Not for me.
Wasn't a fan of
Not
those.
for me.
Blue cheese.
Take them or leave them. It's not going to make any difference in my
Okay.
In fact, all of them don't make a difference in my life.
Chicken.
Yes.
I like the chicken. Sucking on a stock cube. It's a win for me.
That sounds like.
Yep.
Something for the after.
Yeah, sounds like something for taking
I've
home.
been eating Twisties all my life because if you were a child in Malta and born and brought up, you ate them. But one of the things which I love doing the most is when you got to the end of the packet,
And you have the little
you
small
opened
ones.
it up at the side and you licked it. You had.
Oh my good Lord above.
Now let me tell you, when you look in this, there are absolutely no crumbs.
Mamsh flak.
Okay, these are not how they were made long
Back in
time
the
ago.
day.
You know what I liked
Before
as well?
the packet would be full of
Crumbs.
crumbs,
Crumbly
and those were the best bit. These are not.
You know what? You get a panina.
And you put butter and Twisties,
Twisties,
ham,
heel,
cheese.
and
It's like a bacon butty or a chip butty.
So many
Shijmil.
things about that are wrong.
Sandwich.
Sour cream and onion.
Yes.
No.
They're
Hell
okay.
with
They're
you.
all
To
right.
hell with sour cream and onion.
These two are my
Don't
favourite.
open
I
on
am
the
so in this-
plane.
Well, listen. Twisties and tassels galore. We've had everything on this edition of the After Hours show. Thank you so much, Chin Chin.
Chin
Congratulations to
Chin.
everybody. Thank you for joining us. Come and join us on another edition of the After Hours. Do, of course, as I said before, follow us, share us, like us, love us. And if you have something to say about anything that's happened in this show, please do feel free to comment underneath, whether you're watching it on YouTube or joining us on Apple or Spotify. Thank you so much for being here. And until the next time,